Horse is a story from the Trojan War about the deception that the Greeks had used to enter the independent city of Troy. In the official version that was written of this, after a fruitless 10-year siege, the Greeks constructed a huge wooden horse and hid a select force of men inside. The Greeks pretended to sail away, and the Trojans pulled the horse into their city as a victory trophy. That night, the Greek force crept out of the horse, opened the gates of the city for the rest of the Greek army, which had sailed back under the cover of night. The Greeks entered and destroyed the city of Troy, ending the war. The city of Troy was not able to be defeated from outside, but was defeated from inside. Metaphorically, a Trojan horse has come to mean any trick or strategy that causes a target to invite a foe into a securely protected place, to deceive by appearance, hiding malicious intent in an outwardly deceptive exterior. Catch for us the little foxes that spoil the vines while our vineyards are in blossom. See, you go and you read verses 13 and 14, and Solomon's writing about how the vineyard had come into full bloom, into full blossom. Things were taking place. Things were happening, that growth was taking place. Good things were taking place. Harvest was taking place. But what ended up happening, the little foxes came in. There's a lot of times in life that if we are not careful, we will allow a Trojan horse of the enemy to come right into our lives, and we not even recognize that we're the one that brought it in. We will not even recognize that we allowed that to come into our life. See, there's things that we tolerate in life that will continue on as long as we give it permission to continue on. There are things in life that the longer we allow it, the more damage it will do. How many remember the Febreze? Who knows what Febreze is? Their air freshener smell stuff, makes your room smell good. How many remember the commercial like a year ago where you get comfortable in the stench, and then it showed somebody coming in the house and they're like, oh my gosh, and holding their nose? See what happens? We get used to the stench of the thing in our life that has no business being there. Because as we grow accustomed to it, we don't recognize it as well. See, when I was a teenager, when you're an athlete and a teenager, sometimes you take your gym bag, you throw it in one place, and then you just go right on about your business to get changed for work, or you get changed, and you leave that smelly, sweaty gym bag sitting right there. Now, instead of doing what I know to do, how many of you have children or teenagers? How many of you were a child or a teenager? You ever go to collect, you go to their room because you're missing plates, you're missing silverware, you're missing cups. And you go in their room and you find that plate that's been missing for a month. You find that bottle that's been missing for a month. You find that bottle that you had milk in for the baby. Somebody was telling me a story the other day. They said we were driving and we could not figure out what this stench was. We had cleaned our car and cleaned our car and cleaned it, and it was just, we could not figure out what this smell was, what this stench was in our car. And we would go, and we vacuumed it, we shampooed, we did everything, and we could not get rid of this smell until we moved the baby seat and realized that coffee that had at one time spilled, collected and trapped under the seat, because when you have leather seats and your car seat, it becomes like a vacuum seal, and this milk got trapped under the car seat. And when you're in 80 and 90 degree weather, put two and two together, how unpleasant that smell is and that stench. And when you can't figure it out, sometimes you have to uncover something to find out what's going on and where the source of the problem is. 3 jobs. He comes to steal from you. He comes to kill things in your life and to destroy things in your life. That's the only reason he comes. Nothing good comes from him. He is not the left